Good morning and welcome to this edition of A Closer Look. I'm your host, Linda Fontaine. Today we have the privilege of having two of my friends with us today, Lori Norris, who's the e-learning coordinator of DBExcel, and the principal of DBExcel, Shanna Hensley. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
What is DBExcel?
DBExcel is a program of Dobyns-Bennett High School. It's for 9th through 12th graders. And it's housed on a separate campus, but it's a blended and online program.
Okay, well, how did this come about?
It started, Shannon and I got together in the winter of 2014, and we brainstormed some ideas for kind of a non-traditional, innovative program for students at the high school. And we developed our vision for the program, and it's just grown and evolved since then.
Wow, that's amazing. Were you going to say something,
Well,
Shanna?
I think we knew at that point that looking into the future that there's a core group of students who need something different. They want something different. And so from that realization, we then developed the Excel program.
Well, what exactly makes it different? I mean, you say somebody wants something different. What does that mean?
Excel actually stands for Excellence in a Creative Environment for Learning. And if you come to our school and visit, which I would encourage you to do so, and anyone else who's interested, you will see we are not traditional at all. So we don't have classrooms. We have larger labs with breakout rooms where that teachers can pull students and work with them. They can work with any size group from 2 students or even one-on-one with a student to a group as large as 40. So it really just depends. Teachers will design their lessons or support, and then they'll decide which area of our facility is the best to execute that lesson.
Wow. So tell me about a typical student.
Really, we have all different types of students. The majority of our students, I would say, they want something different and they want a smaller environment. And so if you come to our school, for example, you may have the same English teacher, or you will have the same English teacher for a couple of years, as opposed to switching every school year or every semester. So they're just wanting that smaller environment, maybe a little bit more support. Because we don't have classrooms, we don't have to operate on a bell schedule, so kids can stay as long as they want to with someone, or they can switch around when the need may be.
Well, that sounds really interesting. So how can someone get involved in attending? What's the application process? How does that work?
They will start, if there is a student at Dobyns-Bennett, they would start by going to their counselor and beginning the application process there. We also work with counselors at the middle schools so that rising 9th graders can apply the summer before. And Shanna can talk
And when
a
they
little
get
bit
to
more.
their guidance counselor, they just complete an application with their guardian. Basic information, name, address, things like that, number of credits they have, maybe their interest. And then we also have a section on there where we ask students to give us a reason as to why you're wanting to come to our program. And then from that point, the counselor sends the application to us, and we will bring the student and their family down, and we will tour through our facility and make sure that we all think it's a good fit for that particular student.
Okay, so how many students can be involved in this? Do you have a cap?
Yes, we do. We've currently, as of this point, we've served just a little over 300 students. And really that's about the maximum size that we want to be at this point. There is room for expansion, but at this point with the square footage that we have, about 300 is a nice number for us.
Well, that's more than I thought. That's a lot.
Pretty big place.
I wish they had this when my kids were going through, because I have one child in particular I think would have been really good with this kind of program, because I know kids all learn really different, and Lori and I used to have conversations about that, you know, and I think this is great that you came up with this program.
Well, I've thought the same about our kids because everyone does learn differently, and I think some of the opportunities that they have at DBExcel are hands-on, they're STEM-oriented, they're project-based, they're very personalized.
A lot of people think that we're just an online program, and we're not. So we do a lot of work around project-based learning. And so it may take 2 or 3 months to work through a problem or a project that you're working on to be able to demonstrate mastery in a certain area. Being able to demonstrate mastery in different ways other than a standardized test is something I think that we pride ourselves on in allowing students to be able to do. So they have choice over showing what they know and they're able to do.
There's also a lot of crossing over curriculum, so a lot of the curriculum is crossed between, so say the digital arts program and the English program. or departments, so they can combine their lessons and work together.
Wow, this is amazing. I'm so jealous that we didn't have this back then, because I think my youngest would have been excellent at this.
Yes.
So do you still have programs like art and music and those kinds of?
And that's a great question. So we run a bus all day long back and forwards between our building and Dobyns-Bennett. So if you want to take a class that we don't offer that they do, we will bus you there.
Okay, so you guys really work in concert with each other.
Yes.
With all this. So they can be involved in sports and stuff too as well at DB?
Band,
Oh,
orchestra.
okay.
Yeah, we
everything.
have cheerleaders, we have fellas who played on the football team, we have basketball players, kids who run track. So you can try out for any sport just as you would if you were at Dobyns-Bennett at the main campus every day.
Well, that's amazing. See, I didn't realize all this.
Yes.
And I've known Lori for years, and she's talked about it, but I didn't fully understand it until now we're sitting down and just delving into what it really is. And I think it's
Yes.
important to get that information out there, because unless somebody really fully understands what you guys offer, it's kind of confusing.
Right.
So that's awesome. So how can somebody find out more information about this easily? I'm sure just looking online, but can they just come by at any time? Where would they go to find out? Who would they talk to?
If you know where the Chamber of Commerce is in Kingsport, if you go to the back side of that building, you will see our entrance. They're more than welcome to stop by. I can't always promise that someone will be there and able to take them on a tour right that moment, but they can call our school and they can set up an appointment to tour around. We have a great group of teachers who even like and enjoy meeting with folks in our community to say, these are some of the things that we do in our classroom. These are some of the things that our school is about, to clear up some of those misconceptions.
Well, walk me through a typical day of a typical student.
So that can be a variety of schedules for you. So it may be that a student starts their day at Dobyns-Bennett, they get bussed over, and then they'll rotate through working on Algebra 2 or statistics. They'll go to maybe a marketing and digital arts class that's taught together. So it just depends. Or they may start their day with us. And another thing that we pride ourselves on is the great relationships that our teachers develop with the students. So every day for the first 45 minutes, we spend in an advisory time. So when you enter in with us as a freshman, you will have that same faculty member as your advisor all the way through your senior year. And they talk about things career related. You know, what are some interests that you may have? Can we set you up some type of job shadowing opportunity or an opportunity to go and meet with someone from that field to see if that might be something that you're interested in?
Now, here's a question I was thinking about. Do these kids have any kind of stigma? You know, when you do something that's outside of the regular accepted norm, like I remember some kids that would have to be pulled out of the regular classroom because maybe they just needed to have more time with something. They're just as intelligent as everybody else, but they might have to just learn a little differently, like we're talking about. Is there a stigma? Do people making fun of kids that are learning off campus, so to speak?
I can't say that I see that. We did start this program out of our alternative school, and that has really created a little bit of an obstacle for us in terms of who are you and what is your mission and purpose. So we've really had to educate people on, although we started it here because we didn't have anywhere else to go, that's not who we are. So that's why that we always keep our doors open, and we want to meet with people and schedule those opportunities for people to come in and see for themselves who we are and what we're able to do.
Okay, so remind me, when did this start again?
It started in the fall of 2015 with 35 students.
Okay, that's what I was getting
And
at.
now we've grown to over 300.
In just 2
moved-
years?
And
Yes.
moved to a new campus, which really has helped with the separating the identity of the program.
Where is the campus?
The campus is on the back side of the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, where you said you
where-
can go and find out about
You'll
everything.
see
Okay,
you'll
you did
see
mention
signs
that.
there.
Right.
The Kingsport City School main office is also there. It's on the second floor, and you can see some of the windows from that back parking lot. The environment is amazing.
Okay. I can't wait. I think we have some pictures too that Bobby's been putting up that make it, easier for people to see what it looks like and all. And I
Right.
can't wait to go by, like you've told me many times, come by and look at it. It's really impressive.
Yes.
So I'd like to do that.
The environment is really based on meeting the needs of students. So it's very mobile, it's very open. So a teacher can very quickly assess a situation and say, I need these 3 students to kind of come over here, so pull your stools over, or your chairs or your desks, everything's on wheels. Or let's set up a table over here and I'll work with this small group of students. Or let's go into this little breakout room, we need to work here, things like that. So.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So how many teachers do you have there?
We have 11 teachers on staff. We also have a registered nurse. We have a full cafeteria, so we're able to offer food just like Dobbins Bennett would offer. Secretary, there's about 18 of us in total that make up this school.
Well, when you guys built this building, or not you guys literally, but when it was, thought of and come to fruition building this building, did they have any idea, did they have this in mind that they were going to be doing DBXL? I mean, how did you guys find all this space in that building to forecast this?
Well, we were very lucky to have a lot of support from Kingsport City Schools and the City of Kingsport. Shannon and I did a lot of research on what blended learning looks like and what open classrooms look like, and mobile classrooms and online learning and all the things that are needed for an environment like that. So we started with that vision and developed.
And we started looking at environments in our community that we felt like might be a good fit for us. Community Connections is actually a pillar of ours. So we knew being downtown would be optimal, because that way we have access to a lot of different things for students. So that really helped too in identifying what's the best location for us to set this program up.
Well, great. Well, we'll pick up on this in just a moment. So we're going to go to our sponsors, and then we'll come right back and learn more about this exciting program. Just a minute.